Professor Black Ops, cybersecurity for the people. You see it, let's get it. Microsoft scammers bypass Office 365 MFA and BEC attack. So once again, MFA is not the holy grail. MFA is not the holy grail. So you're gonna need to do some more blue teaming, locking it down. So let's read the article. Microsoft 365 Defender researchers have disrupted the cloud-based infrastructure used by scammers behind a recent large-scale business email compromise campaign. The attackers compromised the target mailboxes using phishing and exfiltration of sensitive info in emails, matching forwarding rules, allowing them to gain access to the message relating to the financial transactions. That was kind of different. The attackers mimicked the forwarding rules to gain access. new skills, new technology, new formatting. Got to stay on top of your game. The initial access gained via phishing. The use of attacker infrastructure hosted in a multiple web service allowed the attacker to operate stealthily, characteristic of a BEC campaign. Microsoft 365 Defender research team Stefan Stilmer and Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center security researcher Nick Carr explained. So the weird thing about it was when the big hacks was coming out, it was actually FireEye and Microsoft was two of the biggest players in the actual cybersecurity realm. The attacker performed discrete activities for different IPs and timeframes, making it harder for the researchers to correlate seemingly disparate activities as a single operation. So obviously they were rotating IPs in the game. Microsoft researchers revealed the entire attack flow behind a recent incident, from the initial access to the victim's mailbox to gaining persistence and stealing data using email forwarding rules. The login info was stolen using phishing messages that redirected the target to a landing page closely mimicking the Microsoft sign-in page, asking them to enter the password under a pre-populated username. So below you see the two pages. They are super similar. The legacy auth protocol used to bypass MFA, while the use of stolen credentials for compromising inbox is blocked by enabling multi-factor authentication. MFA, Microsoft also found the attacker used legacy protocols like IMAP and POP3 to exit emails and circumvent MFA on Exchange online accounts when the target failed to toggle off of legacy authentications. So once again, that's in bold. Circumvent the MFA on Exchange online accounts when the target failed to toggle off the legacy authentication. Credentials checked with the user agent brought to RPOC. Breach is likely code base using legacy protocol, IMAP, and POP3 against Exchange Online. The results of the ROPC outflow, which returns an invalid green in case MFA is enabled, so no MFA notification was sent. The attackers also used the cloud-based infrastructure disrupted by Microsoft to automate the operation at scale, including adding rules, watching and monitoring the compromised mailboxes, finding the most valuable victims, and dealing with the forwarded emails. Microsoft often discovered that the scammer using BSCT actively originated from multiple IP addresses, belonging to several cloud providers. So they were mimicking other cloud providers for the attack. They also used DNS records that almost matched those of the victims so that their malicious activity would blend in with pre-existing email conversation and evade detection. The BEC behind almost $2 billion in losses last year, even though in some cases the BEC scammer method might seem to lack sophistication and their phishing email malicious in nature. To some, BEC attacks has been behind record-breaking financial losses every year since 2018. The FBI 2020 annual report on cyber crime listed a record number of more than 1.8 billion adjusted losses reported last year. Last month, Microsoft detected another large BEC campaign that targeted over 120 companies using type squatted domain register just a few days before the attack. In March, the FBI also warned a BEC attack, increasing targets of United States, local, tribal, and territorial government entities, which reported loss ranges from 10,000 up to 4 million from November 2018 to September 2020. So once again, be careful out there. Just because you have MFA and you're the Microsoft Cloud, you still are vulnerable. Professor Black Ops, please subscribe.